Welcome back, automation enthusiasts. You're tuning into video 2 of our virtual automation series. In our last video, we covered the basics of virtual desktop automation and learned how its building blocks function in LeapWork. We created an automation flow that clicked on the browser icon to open it, typed in the LinkedIn URL, and checked to make sure the LinkedIn page loaded correctly. Today, we're diving into image recognition, a powerful feature that allows us to interact with graphical elements on the screen, including in Citrix applications. Image recognition stands out as a game-changer across various industries. Imagine a customer support agent needing quick access to a specific application. Instead of searching for it each time, image recognition can automatically identify and click the application icon on their desktop. This not only saves time but also reduces the chances of errors, allowing the agent to focus on resolving customer issues more effectively. Another great example comes from software testing. Developers often need to verify if certain buttons or icons appear correctly after updates. By using image recognition, the automation can check for these visual elements. If the Save button is missing or changed, the automation will flag it immediately, ensuring that the application functions as intended before it goes live. Likewise, in virtual environments, image recognition is key to overcoming automation challenges. With features like Capture Area and Area Property that we learned in the last video, LeapWork ensures precise interaction. It adapts to changes in screen resolution, greatly enhancing efficiency and accuracy. Before we start, make sure that screen resolution on your virtual machine is same as the one on which you will be creating your automation flow. Let's understand the scenario overview. At first, we will see how Find Image building block works and how does its properties function. We will then learn how to hover the position of the image found. Then, we'll learn how to use Scroll Wheel block to find target image by scrolling on web page. At the end, we will learn about the precision property of Find Image building block. Remember, all the steps will work the same way across different virtual environments, whether it's a virtual desktop, web application, or remote session. Let's proceed to create our automation flow. Simply connect Find Image building block. The Find Image building block in LeapWork is key for helping your automation recognize and interact with specific images on the screen, like buttons or icons. This means your automation can work even if layouts change, making it more flexible. It also reduces errors by relying on images instead of text. Now, to proceed with finding image, the next step is to open the website from where we will find image. Let's do it. Now let's open the website. Let's say ebay.com. And let me open its sports category. Now this is the page where we will find the image. You can take any other website in your practice. Let's move to our automation flow. Now, click on Select Image to find and capture the image. You may choose to select any image on the web page you wish to find. Yes, let's capture this image. Yes, we can see the captured image here. Now, let's run the flow till here and see how this block finds the image. Simply right-click and select Run Flow to here. And yes, we can see that the image is found at the position mentioned in the activity message. This is how Find Image block functions. Now the next step is to hover on the image found. When we talk about the hovering the image, we have to also define the position of hover over the image. Let's proceed with the next steps. Let's get back to our automation flow. Now, since we have to hover, or we can say keep mouse over the image found, let's connect Hover Position block next to the Find Image block. Yes, it's added. Hover Position block in LeapWork lets your automation move the mouse over a specific image on the screen without clicking it. This can trigger things like tooltips or drop-down menus that appear when you hover over an element. It's useful for creating actions that need the cursor to be over a button or icon. Now in this block, you can see the position feature. See how it works is, it basically uses X and Y coordinates to define the exact location on the screen where the hover action will occur. That means you have to set or choose the exact spot, like the center, top left corner, etc. Now, from where the input will come to this property. Now, if we expand the Find Image block, yes, over here you can see the Position Found property. This is what will be the input to position property. In Find Image block, simply connect it to position property with the blue connector. Now, the position that was found through Find Image block will act as the input and tell Hover Position block to point at that position without clicking. Let's run the flow and see how it works. And yes, we can see that the mouse moved and hovered on the image. We can see the hovered position in the activity logs. This is how Hover Position block works. Moreover, you can also decide or set the position of hover. Let me show how. Click on Edit button, and in the automation flow, over here, simply click on the captured image in Find Image block and set the red intersecting lines at the point where you want the mouse to hover. Yeah, I'm setting it to this lower right corner. You can set the position as per your choices. Now let's run the flow again. We can see that the mouse moved and hovered at the lower right corner of the image. We can see the hovered position details in the activity log. Now, let's get back to our automation flow and learn some more interesting properties of Find Image building block. If I little zoom in the block, you can see here, Await No Movement property here. The Await No Movement property in the Find Image block in LeapWork makes the automation wait until there's no movement on the screen before moving on. For example, if you're looking for a loading icon to disappear before clicking a button, this property ensures that image has been fully loaded. Now for how long the automation will wait. The timeout feature defines it. It allows you to set a limit on how long the automation will wait for the screen to stop moving. Now, if the timeout period is reached and movement is still detected, the automation can proceed with an error message. The Await No Movement property ensures that your automation only acts when the screen is stable, reducing errors and making the process smoother. Now, moving to the web page we had opened, let's consider the scenario where you have to find the image somewhere in the below sections of the web page. Now to do it, we'll use Scroll Wheel block. Let's go back to the automation flow. Capture new element. Yes, let's say this image for which the scrolling action will be required to find image. And yes, the new image is captured. The next step is to configure settings through which we can set up scrolling to find image captured, but we'll do these settings in Scroll Wheel block. Let's do it. Now let's remove Hover Position block and connect Scroll Wheel block before Find Image block. Now, what is Scroll Wheel block and why are going to use it with Find Image block? The Scroll Wheel block in LeapWork lets you simulate scrolling up or down on a page, just like using a mouse wheel. The reason we are connecting it with the Find Image block is to help the automation find an image that might be off-screen by scrolling until the image appears. Now, block is added. In direction, you can set the way to scroll either down or up. Since we have to scroll down, let's set it to down. Now, to define the position, right-click and capture the position to set scrolling from. See, the position you will set will be the exact point from which mouse will start scrolling. So while setting this position, you have to take care. capture the area, simply click on the position. And yes, the position is defined using X and Y coordinates, specifying the exact location on the screen from where the scrolling will start to occur. Now let's expand the block, set the amount to 3, and let's keep delay second as 0.5 seconds. You can set the speed from here. Let's keep the speed as medium. Now, in the Find Image block, you can remove the area captured. You can keep it, but it's not necessary since we have already set the position in Scroll Wheel block, so the automation flow will easily recognize the position and find the image through Find Image block. Now, let's run the flow. You will notice that the mouse will point to the position we had set to start scrolling from. And we can see the page scrolling is happening. You must be getting that the scrolling is happening as per the values we had set in Scroll Wheel block. The scroll is happening 3 times, and there's delay of 0.5 seconds in each scroll. Once the image is found, the scroll will stop. This was our target image to be found. And yes, we successfully found our image. In the activity log, we can see that the image position details. You can anytime check the flow recording while you are trying the exercise. And yes, now you have learned how to work with Find Image and Scroll Wheel blocks in image recognition. This is how you can easily automate the process of scrolling your page, either up or down, and find the desired image elements. Now let's move to another property of Find Image block. Precision. The precision property in the Find Image block tells the automation how closely the found image must match the one you've set. If you choose high precision, the images need to be very similar. With lower precision, the automation can accept some differences. The 2 next features, pixels and colors, help with this. The pixels setting lets you decide how many pixels can be different between the reference image and what's on the screen. You can set the pixels out of these options as per your requirements. Let's say, if you select high precision in pixels, it means the automation will only find the image if it looks almost exactly the same as the one you've captured. The color setting allows for some flexibility in color differences, meaning the automation can still match images even if the colors vary slightly, like due to changes in lighting. Together, these features help the automation find images more easily, even with small changes, making it more reliable. So this was all about the precision property of Find Image block. Now think of the scenario where, let's say, any change or update happened in the website you were searching for the image elements. Then how will you find the image? Will you rebuild your flow again? Not at all. That's where Capture New Collection feature comes in role. In LeapWork, the Capture New Collection feature in the Find Image block allows you to easily capture and store images of UI elements, like buttons, icons, or text fields, that the automation needs to recognize. Therefore, if there are changes in the application or website you're automating, like a new button or updated element, instead of rebuilding your entire flow, you can simply use this feature to capture the updated images. This makes it easy to keep your automation up to date without starting from scratch. Let me show you how it works. Let's capture New Collection. And yes, you can see that this time the image is captured in the form of collection. This means that it has captured and stored all elements the automation can recognize. With all these features, we learned that how the Find Image block in LeapWork is quite powerful for virtual automation, allowing you to precisely locate and interact with on-screen elements in virtual environments. And stay tuned, because we'll be exploring even more of its interesting features in the next tutorial. This was all about today's tutorial. In summary, we firstly found the image with the help of Find Image block. Then to hover the position found, we used Hover Position block and learned how can we adjust the hover position. After that, we learned If we have to search the image on the web page by scrolling down, how can Scroll Wheel Block help us achieve that? Then we learned about the precision property of the Find Image block and saw how can we use the feature of Capture New Collection to make sure any change in the web page or image elements doesn't impact the automation flow. We will be coming up with next interesting topics of this series and help you automate your virtual desktop tasks like a pro and achieve high-quality outcomes as a result. For any doubts and queries, feel free to contact us through LeapWork support or connect via live chat. And remember, with virtual automation, you can transform the way your team works, cutting down on repetitive tasks and freeing up time to focus on innovation and growth. It's all about working smarter and driving your business to new heights. Keep automating, keep succeeding. Thank you for watching.